Hey ho everyone, Ginger Gargoyle here with what would have been day 6 of the National Craft Month. Ta-ta-da! National Craft Month. This is 1 month out of the year where we sit back and we take a look at different crafts. And this week was supposed to be just about knitting. Okay, so the 1st through the 7th is all about knitting. I really meant to get onto this, guys, but my tummy's been bothering me. So, we have done cast on, we have done the knit, we have done the purl, we have done the bind off. Okay, some people call it cast off, but the symbol in a knitting pattern for cast on is CO, and the symbol for cast off would be CO, and it would be really hard to understand that. So I like bind off, which is BO. Don't laugh. Okay, and then the 5th day we talked about increase, day 5, and today we're going to talk about decrease. Now, when it comes to increase, it doesn't really matter whether you're increasing to the left or to the right because you're just adding a stitch, okay? So it's not going to switch which way that it leans. It does matter when you are decreasing. Okay, if you think of a triangle, all right, think of a triangle, okay, this side you always decrease with a with a knit 2 together, okay? So the left side of your triangle, you're always decreasing with a knit 2 together. For the decrease, you want to do basically knit 2 together through the back loop. That's my preferred way. But the proper way is a slip knit. And then there's a modification of the slip knit. So let's get into the knit 2 together and the slip knit. Okay. So we start with, I'm going to start with getting my act together here. Okay, so now as you can tell, I've already started to decrease, and I started decreasing before I double checked my count. I have enough stitches on to show you 2 rows of decrease. So I will do 1 row with you guys looking down at my hands from this direction, and one of you looking at my hands from this direction, where you're sitting in front of me. All right. So let's start with the basics first. First, let me get this. Okay. You knit your first stitch, as always, simply because you want to maintain, well, move you up just a little bit. You want to maintain a firm row. Okay. You want that to be fairly stable. Okay. Then we're going to slip knit. You slip as if you're going to knit, and you just let that slide onto this needle. Drop that, okay? You're going to do the same thing here. Slip as if you were going to knit, and then just let it slide over. Now, now comes the hard part where nobody understands. You slip your left needle, your working needle, back into those needles. So now you have this, okay? Then you pass this over and you pull it through, and you want to make sure that you got a nice clean one, and then you drop both those stitches, and now you've decreased by 1. Okay, so let me get down to where we can talk about the other one. Okay, now we have 3 stitches left on here, because remember, these 2 stitches are going to be stitched together, and this is your last stitch. Now, since we want it to lean this way, we're going to knit these two together, which means you have to stick. I always do this just to make it a little bit bigger, and it's easier to get this through. Okay, so it's like you're knitting just a regular stitch, but you're going to go through 2 stitches at the exact same time. All right, and then knit your last stitch as normal. Now, like every other, just like on the increases, okay, after the increase row, you're going to turn, or this way, the decrease row, you're going to turn, all right, and now you're going to knit 1, purl across into the last stitch, and then knit that one. Okay, hopefully you guys will see this. All right, knit your first stitch as normal. My problem is I don't know if I'm actually in shot for you guys or not. Now remember, this one we want to be leaning on the right side of the triangle, so this one is a slip purlwise or knitwise. Okay, and the next one is a knitwise. All right, then we want to slip this back into those 2 stitches. You can tell I use my thumbs a lot. And then you want to pull it through. All right, and then drop both of those stitches. Okay, now we're going to knit across until there are 3 stitches left. Okay, here we are down to the last 3 stitches. All right, so what you want to do is, I like to put them in, or put my needle in and give it a pull. That'll tighten up this stitch and loosen up these stitches enough so that I can get this needle through. Okay, and you want to go through both of those loops. See how both of those loops are on this needle? All right. Whenever you're putting these 2 needles together, or whenever you're decreasing, you want to do it that way. Okay. So there we've gone through both loops. Now both loops can be basically kicked off, and then knit through the back loop. Or knit through the back leg. Okay. Now I'm going to purl the other side the way that I said, and we'll be back to do a different kind of decrease.